Hey all, hello and welcome, Tony Bing here. So we have another Cosmic Trial guide for Marvel Heroes Omega, and this will apply to both the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions. Now the hero we will be covering will be She-Hulk. She is exceptionally powerful, so this was one of the easiest trials I've done so far. Now if this is the first Cosmic Trial guide video you are watching, what I do with these is I run through the trial, not surprisingly, but I actually run through them on a freshly leveled level 60 character, so that way if you're new to the game and you don't want to farm legendary marks, you don't want to spend too much time gearing up to get into cosmic mode, you can follow the build you see in this video in order to gain access to it, because we don't use legendaries, we only use story mode artifacts, and we simply use super heroic gear for slots 1 to 5 as well. So what we'll do first is we'll look at the skills and talents we would use. Once we've done that, we'll then do the Cosmic Trial gameplay, and then at the end of the video I'll bring up the gear wheel just to show off the gear I'm using as well. But first up, let's have a look at the skills and talents we use. The first skill we look at here then is Opening Statement. So this will provide vulnerability, and it has 2 charges on a low 3-second cooldown. Now I by and large use this just really to move about if I've ran out of dashes, because the targeting is a little bit strange on it. But if I need to get out of the range of enemies pretty quick, I can use this. I would normally save that for that reason. We then have our first real cooldown skill, which I'll use for damage. It's Move to Strike, so you'll slide towards the enemy and kick them. We then follow this up with a finisher, which is Final Verdict. We get 2 charges of this, and we'll normally spam both of them if they're up. We then have another finisher, which is Closing Argument for this particular one. And then our final finisher is Bannister Beatdown. This one does miss quite a lot, so you need to try and line it up before you do use it. Now you'll notice I went very heavy on the finishers, and that will make more sense in a moment once we get to the actual talents as to why I've done that. Next skill we have anyway, it's Surprise Witness. So you'll call in a random ally, and it's generally the likes of maybe like Jessica Jones or Misty Knight, or on some occasions I've even seen Deadpool or Iron Fist come in as well there. Now you want to use this skill after you've used your signature Conviction, because through talents we've got it set up where Conviction will automatically activate Surprise Witness if it's not on cooldown. So you do Conviction, you'll call in a Surprise Witness, you then cast Surprise Witness, and you can have 2 allies out at the same time, which is really great. But our signature anyway, Conviction offers a huge buff, and it also offers a steroid and damage reduction as well on it, as well as a huge initial damage packet. And when we look at the talents, we've got a certain setup that allows us to fire this off very often, which makes it great because it means the steroid effect on it has a higher uptime. But let's have a look at the talents now. First talent we look at here then is one that I really like because it just makes it nice and simple to play. So this removes combo points. It primarily is the main reason I take it. It means I can just check the cooldowns on skills and fire them off. I don't have to worry about building up combo points first. The talent anyway is called Intimidate Opposing Council. Now the next talent we use is Litigation Shield. So this applies Guarded, which is a great buff. It gives you 10% base health, and you also regain 1% of max health per second as well. And when we use Conviction, we actually have the Unbreakable buff, which is a huge 40% damage resistance for 5 seconds, and we will be using Conviction quite often, as we'll see in a moment. Now next up we have Punishing Verdict. So finisher powers, when you're very angry, reduce the cooldown of Bannister Beatdown and Conviction, and that's an important one there, and that's why we're using so many of these finishers, so we can fire off our signature as often as possible and get the great steroid on it, as well as a huge damage packet very often. Now next talent we have is Legal Team. So we use this one so that when we use our signature Conviction, it automatically activates Surprise Witness if it's not on cooldown, and that, as mentioned already, allows you to have up to 2 Surprise Witnesses out at the same time. Now final talent we look at is always another case. So with this one, conviction reduces the cooldown of all our powers by 10 seconds, and the potency on the steroid goes up as well, so that really is great. We can fire this off and then it refreshes our finishers, so we can then start firing them off, and in turn that allows conviction to come up even sooner. So I really do like the combo of this a lot. But what we'll do now is we'll run through the actual cosmic trial. Once that's completed, as always, I'll show off the gear we've used as well.
You will soon serve Hydra.
Not on your life. Man, these jerks are getting the best of me. How's about a victory party in my honor? Show me where to unleash the proverbial fury.
was hoping my death would be a little more dignified.
Die, subhuman poor!
And there we go, so that really was nice and simple. Now if we bring up the gear, I've got a very basic catalyst, it's only super heroic, same with the slot 4 which is the boots. Artifacts are story artifacts that aren't even set up with a particular build, but despite all that we were able to pass the trial with ease there, so hopefully if you follow this guide you'll be able to pass it with ease as well. But as always, thanks for tuning in for this, and I'll see you all again soon.